Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kirbside podcast. I'm your host, Jay Kirby, and joined here today from HNIC, close friend of the show, close friend of mine, Teffy Wonder. Thank you for joining.
You,
Thank you for joining me, Teffy.
you're welcome.
I'm I'm half tempted to just turn this into a whole series and interview half of HNIC.
Listen, we half of us don't have anything else to do, so it's fine.
I mean, I did Curtis. Now you're here. I mean, Sassy Addison. I'm trying to get Jason scheduled for to do a
Yeah,
J1 interview.
good luck.
Yeah. He hasn't gotten back to me yet, but maybe. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the little bell on your YouTube app so you never miss the uploads. Listen to us on Spotify. Uh, and shout out to our sponsors, Raise Energy, available at repsports.com. If you use the promo code Curbside8 at checkout, you get a 10% discount. And go to jerky.pro. If you use the same promo code, Curbside8, you get a special discount. They have delicious jerky. I absolutely love their flavors. They've got teriyaki, they've got original, and now they're doing a hot challenge, which I'm terrified to try. But someone from Curbside is literally like strong arming me into it. So you guys get to watch me sweat in pain.
Don't let them folks bully you. Make them do it.
I'm doing it for the views.
Oh,
They're in on it too. Don't worry.
oh, listen, I don't like spicy food, so I will be
I
I will be crying.
Shocker. Neither do I. So we'll start off at the basics. Teffy, of course, unless I'm sadly mistaken, I don't think you were born Teffy Wonder. Oh wait, hold on. I was practicing this.
Oh, did you?
Okay. The melanated mochified merjon.
Yes.
Yes, I was practicing that. Almost forgot. I don't think you were born Teffy Wonder,
No,
but
fun
you
fact.
became Teffy Wonder.
Yeah, so fun fact, my grandma used to call me, one of my grandmas used to call me Teffy, and
Mm-hmm.
I hated it. She was the only person who could call me Teffy. So
Mm-hmm.
30, almost 30 some odd years later, to have literal people shout across rooms, "Hi,
Right.
Teffy," is hilarious. No, but what's up, guys? It is at Teffy Wonder here, your wonderful melanated mocha merge on from the HNIC, managing director of HNIC, Head Nerds in Charge LLC. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Oh, I was gonna say because last time when I talked to Kurt, he was the creator, and I always just when I would describe you, I would say producer, backstage boss,
Oh my god.
um, literal anytime Kurt needs a question answered. Hey, but literally, that's how we met. How we met was, hey, go ask Teffy. She can answer your question. I was like, I hope I know which one Teffy is.
Yeah, listen, it's kind of, not to say that I'm not hard to miss, as I say, with white hair, big glasses, and a nose ring. But yeah, no, I am managing director of Head Nerds in Charge LLC. I wear a lot of hats. Project manager, executive producer, crew mom, like.
Very much so.
Yeah, Sassy tells everybody don't ask her anything. If you need actual help, you need to ask Tef, because she's the only one who ever knows anything. So
Can confirm
yeah, right.
through too many emails, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine, but yeah, if you need a concrete answer, if I don't know a thing, I will go find the answer and I will give it to you, and I almost won't forget to get back to you.
So how did you start? I don't know if the word is working for HNIC or just running
Oh.
HNIC. Where did that origin story start?
So I, like most of us, with the exception of Kurt, I came on to the show one time and never left. So
Oh,
I
so
have,
maybe there's hope for me yet.
yeah, listen, if you stick around long enough, you got enough can-do attitude, you will get more responsibility than you asked for. No, I have a YouTube channel at Teffy Wonder. It's supposed to be me and myself. We were the Wonder clones, my sister Sharon and I. So when I first came on the show, I was Teffy Wonder, the Wonder clone, doing things on my own because I was waiting for my sister to start doing content with me on the channel. Curtis reached out to me when they first were setting up HNIC, being like, I was in the Geekonda group, very active in there. And he was like, hey, we're starting this thing. Would you like to come on the show? Would you be interested in watching? And I was like, yeah, no, like, absolutely. It took me over 6 months to actually start watching the show regularly, because at first it was just a bunch of boring dudes arguing about nerd arguments that I had seen 100 fucking times before. I wish I was kidding. And I was just like, okay, I get it, y'all black, but what else? Then Sassy joined the show, and I was like, oh, they got this little young girl on here, and they would be like agitating her, so I would be all up in the comments. I would call in. It was me and this white guy Sean, who's no longer a part of the show, but we used to like fight back and forth about who could call in first. And yeah, so I would call in, and if Sean beat me, I'd be so mad. But I was like, I don't know how this motherfucker dials this number faster than I do, but whatever. I think Kurt just wasn't picking up for me because it was funnier to have me hot
Right.
on the phone. But I would call in and I'd be like, first of all, shut your ass up. Sassy is the best. Like, I would lay them niggas like much like how I am now on the show. But I started as a fan. Kurt asked to have me on the show. It took like 3 months to actually get me on there, probably longer. And yeah, I came on the show once back in their PC radio days, right before we moved to our first studio that we had. And I never left. Kurt was like, he was like, you did great. How would you feel about coming back to the show? And I was like, I would love it. I had a great time. My mom watched that very first episode, and she was like, you need to be on there running that shit. You are hilarious.
Wow, little did she know.
Yeah, listen. So yeah, I got on the show. I got introduced into our main show chat, and I literally was like, hey, do you need help? Because Kurt was doing everything, and so many things were being done like last minute, last second, which I thought that by stepping into a helpful position would make that stop. It hasn't. We still do so many things at the last second. I will say it's become a really like strong suit of mine. Like it's like a power up, being able to like think on my feet like that. So I've learned a lot being at HNIC. I've grown a lot as a content creator, as a person. I have so many new friends now, and I apparently have fans, which is wild.
Well, yeah, of course you have fans. You have, what is it? You have so many fans DMing you that you have your own little slice at the end of the show every week.
Oh yeah,
saying, hey,
my
there's
sign-off.
too many of you.
Yeah, so many people send me like Facebook friend requests to my personal Facebook page, and I'm flattered. That's not a joke. That's not just something I say like for the show. I am super flattered. But one, being my friend means something. It means that we know each other, we have met, we talk. Like, you've seen my kid probably, like in a lot of cases, the people who have met me have seen my child, have hung out with me, been to my house. That's what being my friend means. Y'all are my fans. Please follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, like my Facebook fan page, like YouTube and stuff like that. I do not just add a whole bunch of people to my Facebook page. Like, you, for privacy reasons, my son is very small, and I don't post him a lot because I have a lot of friends on there that I don't know very well, and I don't know who they know. So I was like, listen, I'm getting my license to carry. You can pull up at my house if you want to. Show up at my child's school if you want to. I don't play about my I don't play about my baby or my piece. And I'm gonna get me a piece of steel, and you better pray for me because I'm a lady still.
listen. You know where I live. I fully
Yeah.
support this. For those of you who don't, I live in Texas,
Yeah.
so I fully support this plan. But no, I get exactly where you're coming from, because I don't make I get the same thing. I will add just about anybody to my wrestling page, and I will add just about anyone to social media as long as it's a real account.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my own personal, outside of Kirbside, outside of wrestling, outside of Dice Hard, outside of HNIC, um, I don't know you, so I'm
Yeah.
probably not gonna click. If your only now, no disrespect to anybody, if your only mutual friend is a bunch of wrestlers and you look like you're in high school, no, I'm not gonna accept your friend request on my personal profile, and I'm sorry. You can
Yeah.
you
Like
can follow me everywhere else, and I'll respond to comments, I'll respond to tweets, but not on the
oh
personal.
yeah. No, and I have people who I've met like on Instagram or on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok who I am now friends with like
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook who now get to see like that side of me. Like I'm I'm not super standoffish
Right.
like in that way like you like I'm all up in my comments. First of all, if you say something fucked up, I'm gonna tell you that your daddy should have skeeted you in your mama ass. So listen, you don't have to worry about not getting any attention from me on my public pages.
Right.
Listen, I'll light your ass up in my comments, or I will. If you show me love, I will show you love back. I don't have no problem doing none of that, and we can get to know each other like organically. That is fine. But like I said, my personal Facebook page is like where my friends are,
Mm-hmm.
where my family, like people who have known me from like inch high days are. I have friends on my Facebook page, not just family. I have friends I have known since I have 8 years old. No, I'm not adding you random person with an anime profile picture.
Yes, I know the type.
Like,
I know the
no.
type.
I'm not adding you person who saw me from across the room one time at BlurredCon.
Right.
I
No,
don't.
I don't think you added me as a friend until probably till Kurt threw me in the group chat.
Yes,
Like,
until we
or
started.
probably till we at least met in person at J1.
I
You know.
didn't even add you. I
I
didn't add you.
said
Yeah.
at a minimum, like you at least had met me in person. Like
Yes.
that's all the more it was.
Yeah. So we had met in person, and it
Mhm.
wasn't until after that when you started being on the show regularly
Yeah,
did I add you. So yeah.
exactly. So that shows everyone, even someone that is eventually going to be on the show, doesn't get added to Teffy's profile just all willy nilly.
I'm saying no, but you can follow me literally. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I am there, all those places. I'm actually more accessible on my public pages than I am on my personal page. I post the least on my personal
Mm,
page. And I'm also not kidding, where half the time it is me complaining about my kid, or complaining about my job.
oh,
or
I
focus.
absolutely love watching your TikToks of
Oh,
you just
thank
being at
you.
work and using random audio of like this bitch.
Yeah. I will say my D&D TikToks did really well, which I was surprised by, but very happy there. Like I'm growing there. I'm at 3K now.
Nice.
I was trying to get to 5K by the end of the year. Uh and I don't know. I've had like a bit of like creator burnout only because we're
Mm.
doing so many things behind the scenes now, like trying to throw all of these events and going to advanced screenings and trying to get on red carpets for like movie premieres. Your girl be tired. So I am I had to tell this guy. I went out to dinner with a friend last night, and the guy
Mm-hmm.
who was sitting next to us at the hibachi table,
Mm-hmm.
he was like crying. He was like, "I am so sorry. I don't mean to eavesdrop on your conversation." And I was like, "No, it's fine. I'm a clown. I'm a clown. Enjoy your evening. By all means, have a laugh on me." And that is just me on TikTok for the most part, having a grand old time being silly and like,
Oh,
listen, get these jokes, laugh you right
I
off the
I
top.
I love when we'll call it the persona crosses over into real life. I was at my buddy's wedding and literally, I don't know how it started, but like everyone got a best man speech. They just like
What?
open mic'd it for people to say how much they, love the couple and love the bride and groom and everything. So I grabbed the mic, and my buddy Jake, who was the groom, about took off across the room. And he goes, and no one understood why. I was like, y'all don't know this. I do this professionally. I'm
Yeah.
about to roast this man on the mic. I'm gonna go full promo on him.
Yeah.
And then I have to not do that when I'm at work. Because there's been a couple times where I'm like, don't say that. Don't
Oh,
say that. That's not worth it.
listen, I work, yeah, the job I have now, very kind of like serious job,
Mm-hmm.
but the people who work there be so unserious that I'd be like, don't do that. Oh,
Right.
we gonna get fired.
So, so you brought up, because it's such a point for me, and I don't know if drives me crazy is the right word, but just like makes me want to do so much better on the show, is what is it like for you, Curtis Addison, to go to all these movie premieres and go to like actual, like, not just here's a screening and here's your comped tickets, please do a review,
Mhm.
but like the legit premieres. Like, what is that like to get to
uh
do stuff like that?
So we haven't done like a big premiere just yet. Not like shout out to Fantastic Frankie and Black Gay Comic Geek doing like big red carpets. They going to like Ant-Man and shit like that. And I'm living for it. I've been a fan of Frankie's for years. I had her on for HNIC Ladies Night and we had her on the main show. We haven't done that yet, but I will say these advanced screenings now we're going to like pop-up events. So
Mm-hmm.
we did one for Barbie in July and it was so
Insane.
much fun.
Absolutely.
It
So much pink in those photos.
yeah.
Oh, so much pink. Like, I'm here for it, and I loved that movie, but like, wow. My
Curtis
eyes
was
hurt looking at some
great.
of those pictures.
Curtis had such he was such a good sport about it. He bought that like weird ashy brown dirty blonde wig to be
Yep.
my pen for the evening and I it was a lot of pink. It was a lot of pink and like when we went to so first we went to a bar, they had signature cocktails, they had like a little
Nice.
buffet. Lots of it is very Instagrammable, like
Hmm.
you get your photo taken. We got
Right.
professional photos as well. And we did another one for the Evil Dead where it was dinner and cocktails. So
I
we did
saw
a
that
mixed
one because
yeah, we
they had all the it looked like human flesh and whatnot from the
uh
movie.
yeah, we did like a brain hemorrhage shot at
Hmm.
the end and I took the tiniest sip of it because I was like, ooh, no, I'm a very like textural person.
Oh yeah,
So
trust me, I get it.
it's
I
like
get it.
yeah, it's like Kahlua and peach schnapps. And I was like, you can see it because Kahlua has like cream in it. It like
Mhm.
curdles. So like when it hits your tongue and that curdled,
Yeah.
oh my God. I took a sip. I felt it like hit like the middle of my tongue. I like, and I have a strong gag reflex. So
Mhm.
I like literally just tilted my head back and swallowed. I was like, oh no. They were like, you gotta take the whole whole thing. And I was like, y'all think y'all is melanated mochified merge on. I'll flip this table the fucking here. You trying to make me do some shit I don't want to do. Absolute. No. I was like, see, that's what's wrong with you hoes. You'll put anything in your mouth. That's why your baby daddy is the way he is.
Hey. Uh
Yes, like, and this is what it's like to sit next to me at dinner.
Yeah, no, because now I'm having like force visions of what J1's gonna be like here in a few months, and what I
It's gonna
may or
be
may not remember
great.
from the evening.
Listen, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna do great.
I'm gonna have to have that same talk with my liver and kidneys. Be like, listen, guys, you're gonna be fine. We'll get through this.
Listen, I would start drinking the week before, uh, just to get you like, just to get them like
Just to get
acclimated.
acclimated.
Right. No, no, no. It's like altitude like training. Like you
Yeah,
gotta go up
yeah.
a certain amount of feet
You
and camp
gotta
there for a
build
little
that
bit.
resistance.
Exactly, exactly. Do that. And listen, I'm like vegan, like I'm going slowly. I'm instituting
Mhm,
like a more vegan diet, very low carb. So like when I don't drink for like when we don't have events for like a couple
mhm.
of months at a time and we don't like go out, my tolerance is trash. I have to remember to start drinking early. Like I'm telling you, as a person who is just as a person who's been like, huh? Like, where we at? What we gotta do?
I mean, I can
Ooh.
keep up, but it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute. We were talking offline about it.
Yeah.
So, but before I forget, and then I'll go into a point I wanted to discuss. What was the
Like
first like premiere event that you not just you guys, but that you got to go to?
first premiere, like movie wise, or my first
Um,
outing with like HNIC as a whole.
both, both.
So my first time going out with HNIC as an official part of the crew
Mm,
was Black Label Comic Con in
a
2019, I believe.
nice.
I went as agent agent T. I went as a nondescript MIB agent.
Oh,
I
nice.
had like the neuralizer and the noisy cricket. The noisy
That's
cricket
so
I still have. My
awesome.
son lost my neuralizer. I'm mad. Um, but yeah, so I went. That was my first time out with us, like officially, like as a group, which was crazy, crazy. It was a lot of fun. My first premiere thing that we did, I don't know because we did a lot. I do a lot of like I love the movies. Addison and I are kind of like the movie people like in the group. So I go to a lot of advanced screenings and stuff like that.
Mhm,
Sometimes by myself because I love movies. If you follow me on my Instagram, I have like this scary movie. I used to do it exclusively on Sundays. I've moved it to other days now. Where I sit and watch a scary movie and it's basically me laughing at white folks for like 90 minutes. It's pretty much that, me laughing at white folks for 90 minutes or being
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck is this? Like
Mhm.
or I'll watch something that's actually scary and then you get to hear me like yelp and laugh and it's a great time. No, like I watched what did I watch recently? Oh, ATM. So if you like I said, if you follow me, you can see in my story. I watched ATM this past week, and I was like, "This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen." Tell me you are. I was like, "Tell me you are stupid and white," without telling me you are stupid and white. I like I I recounted the
It's
movie
like
for a
it's
friend, and
like
it
the
was
TikTok
crazy.
that I posted the other week, and it was, "Tell me you're white without telling me you're white." I was like, the content of the TikTok was like me just going, "These are such just negative stereotypes. Why would anyone" what was that noise? You know, Imma go check it out.
Yeah,
Why? I had a friend do that. She was in her house, heard a noise, and went to check the basement. I was like, "What are
oh,
you doing?
what
You
are you
know
doing?
better."
I'd be in my own apartment. I have an alarm. I have a chime and an alarm on my door. I have a double-sided keyless combination doorbell. Literally, the only people who can get into my house are people with the combination. And I have
Mhm,
a chime on the door so that if by chance the door doesn't shut all the way, the
mhm.
chime still will go off. So I can hear folks coming and going. I know when I'm the only person in my apartment by myself. If
Mhm.
I hear a noise, absolutely fucking not. I go, I lock my
Nope.
bedroom door. I mind my fuck ass business. Uh,
I'm with you on that one.
my best friend of going on, it'll be 20 years next year.
Oh.
Uh, shout out to my friend Mary and oh, what is the name? Their comic Incident Report is the name of their comic. They're going to
Okay.
on their third issue. I can't think of the name of their company right now, and I feel like a trash person. But she's been my best friend literally for 20 some odd years. She lives in Orlando, like outside of the Orlando like metropolitan area,
Right,
and
right.
it's nothing but woods. It's like a developing area, and she be
Mhm.
like, she was like, I be hearing stuff. And I was like, bitch, no, you didn't. And she was like, no, you right. No, I didn't. I just go back in the house. She went and she picked me up. I was stranded at the airport. She let me sleep on her couch. And I was like, it was like tapping on her window. And I went, no, the fuck it's not. I rolled over and I went back to sleep. No, no. I said ain't no, because Orlando like used to be all like, in South Florida used to be Seminole Indian country. I said
Mhm.
y'all not finna Wendigo my skin off my ass. I got a child at home. I gotta get home safe. I have to get back to my baby.
That's why wherever I go, I always take iron with me.
Listen, nah. If you got common sense, you don't need that.
But no, I was gonna bring up basically the conversation we had yesterday because I think it's an interesting talking point. The
We talked a
difference
lot
is
yesterday.
we did talk a lot yesterday, and I'm sorry that I
No,
had a rough week and just
no, it's
vented to the
fine. I
first
just be
person.
like, nigga, what do you? That's why I asked you what you do for a living, because I was like, you be on, you be putting up with my foolishness on Instagram and Facebook. I just be sending you stuff all day. I was like, Jay don't get no work done.
I get some work done. But no, like the difference that 9 months has made,
Yeah,
which is crazy to say out loud. This
yeah,
bullshit that it's been 9 freaking months. But we met the first time in person at J1 last year.
yes.
Because I know you've told me before, but for some reason you weren't at Black Label last year.
No. So I
Uh,
was at Black Label last year. So I was at Black Label last year, but I
mm,
think I didn't see you guys. We were
well,
Curtis was
because
more or less having like a weird rivalry with
mm-hmm,
another content creator whose name does not deserve
doesn't
mentioning.
matter.
So so what happened was, we were going around, I was going around at Black Label, and I
Mm,
was trying to get vendors for
mm-hmm,
HNIC Con this year, which unfortunately got canceled.
right.
But I was only going to people who were selling things. I wasn't going
Mm,
to like some of the other tables.
like a
And then,
podcast.
yes, I wasn't going to some of the other podcasters, and most of them still approached me.
Mm-hmm.
So like, people, I'm so used to being like, I have to finish this task because I really do think I have ADHD. So I was like, no, I have to do this thing because we
Mm-hmm.
need to find these vendors. I got to sell these vendor tables. So I was going around introducing myself to all of the vendors, and either you weren't at your table, or like I just was like, oh bro, they're white folks. And just like
No, not white folks, white folk. I was the only pale
right,
motherfucker in that entire room.
right. I was like,
Still
oh,
haven't figured out how I got there, but I
listen,
was there.
yeah, no, you wasn't the only one, so it's fine. But I was like, oh, yeah, I was like, oh, he white, he probably not gonna be interested anyway, and just like kept it pushing, because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of nah, and that just be facts. Like when I walk around my HNIC t-shirt, black
Mm-hmm.
people laugh and white people get nervous. Um,
Can
until they
one
see it says
thousand
head
percent
nerds.
can confirm.
Yeah.
Because I was working out because I have the HNIC tank top. I was
Mhm.
working out in it, and I looked at myself in the mirror at the gym, and I went, I wonder if anyone's gonna say anything about me wearing this.
Yeah.
So that was just like in the back of my mind for my whole workout. No one did, and no one
Yeah.
gave me like a weird look, but I did have that thought.
Yeah. No, it so yeah, no, white people give you like weird pushback until they see it says nerds on
Yep.
it.
Yep.
So, and then they're like, oh, okay, you're a safe black. It's fine. So I just assumed that you like I had on like a Wonder Woman dress that day and big cotton candy blue hair. I was like, I probably just was like, yeah, no, he's probably not going to be interested. So, and just kept it pushing. So, yeah, no, we didn't actually meet until a month. So, like a couple of months later.
Yeah.
And like, we're like friends now.
Yeah. Now we're messaging. It probably started because I messaged you so frequently with every single question you could imagine about HNIC Con. And once again, I've gone on record of saying this multiple times. I'm sorry. I will not stop apologizing for it, and you're just gonna have to deal with that.
I will say you're the only person you messaged me more than anybody else, but it was always so polite and like
yeah, because
you started off being apologetic, like I don't mean to bother you.
because I didn't mean to bother you.
Yeah,
I felt like trust me, that anxiety and imposter syndrome is hardcore real. But like I've always joked as far as wrestling goes, I might not be a great wrestler, but I am one of the best professionals. I am super professional when it comes to trying to get anything done for the podcast, for another show. I try to make a good impression as you and I talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
And somehow it worked. Don't know how, but it worked.
You got like a good tactic, good strategy. So it worked. I don't be remembering nobody. We had you on the show and I went, oh yeah, I do remember you.
Yep. Speaking of I didn't get to talk to Curtis about this, but speaking of imposter syndrome, when you guys first added me to the group, not to the show, to the group chat, I felt like so bad because I couldn't be on the show, and I felt like I didn't know how anyone in that group chat saw me. So I didn't hardly say anything. I didn't hardly add anything because I hadn't even been on the show. Like, who is this pasty mayonnaise jar? What is he talking about? And who let him in here?
So first of all, being added to the group chat is the prelude to being on the show, as you have now
seen. As I now know. But at the time, I was like, I haven't been on this show once. I don't know how or why they added me. I'm just gonna behave as best I can and try to get on the show. And eventually I did.
Yeah.
Eventually just enough of the schedule opened up.
Yeah.
So that I could swing in. Because you and it's
like
not a dig at Curtis, but you guys had the worst timing when you invited me in.
Oh no, that's classic Curtis, actually.
Yeah, right.
That is classic Curtis behavior. Just being like, I was like, there is no like training with HNIC. It's you gotta if you don't jump in, you will be pushed in.
Yep.
So you might as well leap in with both feet. Try not to say nothing too fucked up. Nope. And be cool. But you gotta get in there.
Yeah, I've tried to do all those things. I don't think I'm ever gonna be cool, but I've accepted this.
I mean, you're Negro adjacent. That lends you some sort of like that does get you like some cool points.
Some points.
Yeah, it does. Like
I'm good
so
with
now. That. Yeah, no, it's fine.
I do have to laugh because when it came to, because I had only met Curtis the one time. I met Curtis.
That's all it takes,
right? I met Curtis at at Black Label, and him, Addison, Sassy, and Goddess, Love. Yeah. They all came to the booth, did like a quick 5-10 minute thing where we talked. And
so that was the other thing. I was manning the table when they were walking around. So that's
probably why.
Yeah, no. So that's more than anything. That's why we didn't meet, is because I was manning
someone
the table.
Had to hold down the floor.
Someone had to fucking stay at the table. Yep. And
but no, they legit, and I felt felt bad because I was in the middle of switching where I was gonna live soon. Like
Hmm.
I was moving out of the state in like the next 4 months.
Yeah.
And they straight up on live internet go, so you gonna be at HNIC next year? And I go, uh, I would love, and I came up with the most politically correct answer I could. I said I would love to be. That's
Yeah.
that's where I left it, and now here we are.
Yeah. Listen, well, make sure you come next year because
No,
we
I'm
are
definitely gonna.
HNIC Con had to take a little bit of a hiatus, but we are still planning other
Mhm.
events and we're doing a couple of really cool things. We got like a cruise maybe being
Yes.
planned.
Oh,
Yeah. So
I'm excited for that. Like I'm legit planning on going on that.
yeah, so we got a couple of things like coming down the pike still. So even though we had to kind of let the
Mhm.
con be on the back burner, we're
Mhm.
making sure that we can bring you the most high quality like content creator event like possible.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you guys have done a great job at it too.
Thank you.
Like,
As somebody who didn't even want to do a con, and Curtis was like, "Oh, people say we should throw our own con," and I was like, "Absolutely the fuck not. No." He was like, "Are you sure, sir? How many times do I have to?" I was like, "You don't speak no other languages, right?" No. And he was like, "Oh, people really think we should do a con. Curtis, I will punch you in your shit." No. And then he was like, "So we're doing this con." But don't worry, I'm gonna take
yeah.
care of everything. You guys don't have to do anything but show up. And I went, and the lie detector determined that was a lie.
So anyway, that was a lie.
Right. So, and then it's so funny because when HNIC Con happened, I had
Mhm.
like all this other stuff happen. Like I got COVID.
Oh, geez.
I got COVID, and then I got like a sinus infection. Like
Oh
I was,
no.
yeah, no, I was sick for months leading up to HNIC Con. Like just in it, like not having to go to, not sick enough to go to the hospital, but like COVID, having to deal with residual COVID, and then I had like a sinus infection. I got a cold. I got like I think I got, oh, my allergies acted up. I think I got another sinus infection, and then it finally all cleared up by the time it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks before HNIC Con. I now had to take on all this responsibility because Curtis was like, "No, I got it," and I was like, "No, you don't." No, you don't, because people similar to you were like, "Hey, I don't know anything about this thing," and now I'm like, okay, now that I'm sick, I have wherewithal of mind. I had all
Mhm.
this work to do, even up to HNIC Con. I was still putting my cosplay together.
What would you end
I
up cosplaying as?
it was Afrofuturism,
Okay.
like Juneteenth style, like Afrofuturism. So I went as a futuristic Mami Wata, which is an African mermaid. So
Oh,
yes,
very
so
cool.
thank you. So on top of having to literally, they were like, "Oh, Friday night, you're not gonna come hang out with anybody," and I was like, I hate to bring it to y'all, my cosplay not done. So I was up till 3 a.m. uh Saturday morning putting my cosplay together. I woke back up at like 6 a.m., 6 or 7 a.m. to do my own makeup. I had costume, I had like wardrobe, I had a wardrobe malfunction
Oh
in my
no.
costume because I wasn't wearing a bra and it was like very like open, deep V
Mhm.
cut, titties popping out. The tape wasn't taping because I was hot and sweaty because
Mhm.
the con was in June.
Yeah.
Like,
Why does
this
everyone
won't
keep having
stay.
cons in in June and August? Can we please have more winter cons?
So and then the floor plan that I had to be redone
Mm.
like on the spot. So I'm full face of makeup, not in my cosplay, and we were moving tables that day. Moving tables, and I was redoing the floor plan from memory.
Oh, trust
trying
me.
to get vendors set up.
Trust me. I feel your pain deep in my soul. I've told this story before in an interview. I don't think I told it to Curtis. The night of Black Label had the little
the dinner.
creators dinner. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I went to that. That's where I actually saw you guys for the first time and was
Feel
like
so bad because I probably saw you 100 times and still just who that
well,
facial blindness be blinding.
right. Um, but like you guys literally, well, shocker, you guys showed up late. um, but you guys rolled in and literally took over the whole room in
Oh
like
yeah.
seconds, and I was like, "Who are these people?"
First
I
of all,
like.
we pull up squad deep.
Oh yeah, there was
No
like,
less than four of us go pretty much anywhere
yeah,
except for
it
like
was
the
legit,
event.
legit 5 or 6 of you just rolled in,
Oh yeah,
and
and then
then Curtis
we
was Curtis.
loud laughing, high fiving people.
Yeah. So that's where like my attention was grabbed. But I went back to the booth to make sure everything was good for the next day, and my computer wouldn't turn on. And
Oh
it was
no.
and Black Label was my first con. So
Oh,
I was sweating. I was having the worst anxiety attack I've probably ever had in my life. Just
see, that's when you should have
trying.
reached out to me. I do IT. I could have helped you.
See, I wish I had known you and I would have reached out, but I was soloing it by myself, just trying to figure this out.
Yo, you poor
I,
thing.
yeah, I was losing it. And then I don't remember his name. I follow him on Instagram. Was one of the photographers.
Oh,
Uh,
Joseph Bruno.
I think it's him. I think it's
Yeah,
him.
his grandson
Um,
Isaiah.
yeah.
Yes.
No. Because I met them and
Okay.
they were there, but it was somebody else.
Okay.
But he helped get the computer running, got it turned on. I was like, okay, no one touch anything. Just let it be. It'll be fine. I'm gonna go upstairs and pass out now.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to have the con the next day. So I get the sheer just weight
Listen,
of anxiety.
you don't. I love you for that, but nothing is worse than coming into your event that you are putting on yourself. I have my
Mm-hmm.
cosplay in my bag. I have bags with my cosplay in it because I wasn't dressed at all. Because who that I think that would have been the only thing that would have made it worse is me walking around in 7-inch heels, also having to move tables. Because yeah, I put on my 7-inch pleasers, my dance boots with the mermaid in the cutout.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I mean, when mermaid girlies, we be committed. So you can
There it
see
is.
my little, yeah. Listen, we be committed, but yeah, and having to organize volunteers and telling people where to listen, people showing up before I had a table for them, and just being like, or people who, oh no, that was the other thing was all the people who we gave tables to who were like, oh no, I just wanted to come to support. I didn't want no table. Now I had all these extra tables.
Right.
Like it was it was an experience. And it was uh for some reason I can't wait to do it again.
I mean, I get it. I get it. Um, so I asked Curtis this because you guys have had so many cool events you've gotten to go to, so many cool events you've gotten to see. Who are some of the people that you've gotten to meet that have been the coolest? Like, Curtis, he brought up that you guys got to meet Phil Lamar,
Yes.
Ron Perlman. Like, who are
Yes.
some of the ones that like stick out the most to you?
The two that stick out the most for me would be Godfrey, who we got to interview for Afro Comic Con when they went online during COVID. We did an interview, me, Love, and Shanae, Black Unicorn Cosplay. We got to interview him, which was amazing. It was amazing. It was he's so funny. It was such a great experience. And he did a show in DC that we drove to go see, and we went to go see his comedy show in DC, and he remembered us and he called us back into the green room and we got to take pictures with him. We gave him HNIC gear. That was great. And I will that's up there. But hands down, far and away, my favorite experience is getting to interview David Tennant for Fan
Oh,
Expo. And
I gotta grab it. You continue. Show you because I showed Curtis.
no, yeah, no, he you want to talk about a legit like dream come true? I almost cried like at the end of the day, because I said to Curtis, I was like, you made one of my literal dreams come true, and I will never ever forget that. So
I am a living, breathing, diehard Whovian.
listen, I did the interview in my TARDIS skirt.
Oh, that's amazing.
I had a TARDIS skirt on, and I was so nervous, and
I can imagine.
I get
I
like that nervous.
I can imagine how nervous I would be meeting him. So I can imagine like the levels
So imagine,
higher that you got to go through
yes, imagine
interviewing him.
interviewing him on the main stage in front of 300 people, and it was also being like recorded and photographed. And
Mm-mm.
I had the little bitty, I had like, and I was like, damn it, when did I outgrow this skirt? But I still had it on. Listen, my mom is one of my biggest fans, and my mom was like, "Oh, I see you had your legs crossed." I said, "Yeah, I had that ankle locked in tight. What do you think I was gonna do? Flash my coochie at David Tennant, ma'am?" Like, I sat up. Listen, all those like courtesy, like manner
Mm-hmm.
lessons, whatever the fuck, that like my great grandmother, my great great grandmother, even my grandma, like they went to like finishing school or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
like that, like chest up, shoulders back, head
Oh yeah.
forward, like yeah, no, I did all of that. I had to do all of that and speak to a literal like living legend, and I made him laugh. So
Oh,
anybody who
dude.
tried to tell me I'm not funny, fuck your fat ass mama, because David Tennant laughed at my jokes.
Oh,
Can't tell me shit.
right, right. Oh man. I I hope to get an interview like that one day.
You
Um,
will. It was oh my god. I will say it was really sad not to be able to go back to Fan Expo this year, because
mhm.
that was amazing, like mind blowing experience. I also got to meet Nolan North. Um,
Oh, I'm jealous. I'm
I
jealous.
got
That is because
I got to
Deadpool is such
the
a
day
close
before.
character for me.
Yeah, which was hilarious because he walked by me. He didn't know that his panel was getting a moderator.
Mm.
He just walked by and went on stage. And I was like, hi, I'm your moderator. And he went, oh shit, my bad. I didn't even know I was getting one of these. He was like, we'll do it over. And he ran behind the curtain, came out, shook my hand, and said, oh my
Oh.
God. We got to meet oh my god, I can't remember his name, but the guy who did the voice of Oogie Boogie. Uh
Oh, okay,
yes.
yeah.
And
I
he
don't
talked
remember his name
about
either right now, but
no, and
that's very
I
cool.
yes. So he hil- hilarious, hysterical. Um he talked about being he was an old Broadway star, talked about being
Mm.
plus size and black on Broadway and like having to perform in like musicals and everything. And
Mhm.
I just lived. Fan Expo was such a movie. It was such a dream. Um,
Ken Page. I looked it up.
thank you. Yes. I was like, it's Ken something, but I couldn't remember his last name. Yeah. So he amazing. Amazing. Great. Great experience. But yeah, I would say Godfrey, uh meeting Phil Lamar, um which I'll have to tell you, that story about Phil
Yes.
Lamar off air.
Oh,
Uh, listen,
yes,
listen, it
please.
wasn't listen, your girl wasn't on her best behavior that weekend.
Oh
Um,
no.
so I'll tell you about that privately. Um, yes, I will tell you about that one privately. But yeah, no, that was all of it. Just
Uh,
chasing that high now, honestly. Um,
I
we're gonna reach out
I've
to the guy who created the Boondocks and have him on the show. Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
yeah. So
I started watching the whole series from start to finish. I think I'm in like season 3 or 4 at this point.
yeah, so I stopped at
Um
season 3. Everybody said it kind of fell off on season 4, but I'm gonna finish it eventually.
yeah, I'd absolutely love that show. That'd be so cool to have him on. But no, I told Curtis this. I just hope. I don't even know if and drive, aspire is the right word, but I hope that I can make Curbside even half as good as HNIC. Like
Listen.
you guys have so many just, and not in a bad way, but so many hands and so many pots. Like I wish I could get that, and I wish I could have, the
Mm,
chance to go to a con and moderate instead of just being the person that stands in line waiting to meet the person. Um,
mm.
I
No,
I
listen, and it takes like it takes a lot of courage, I would say, because listen, it don't always it don't be the confidence part. You gotta fake it till you make it. When I tell you I literally was like hunched over, like
Mhm.
about to throw up
Oh,
because I was gonna meet David Tennant, and like turning to my friends and being like,
mhm,
I can't do this. And then being like, you absolutely can do this. You've done this 50 times before interviewing people.
mhm.
There's no way you can't do this. And to do it and knock it out of the park and then be like, I need a nap. Like I almost went back to our booth and laid on the floor under the table because I was I was so like fulfilled and yet depleted at the same time.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't know if I've shared that story with you.
Mhm.
My experience, I hope to interview him one day. I haven't
Mhm.
gotten the chance, but I got to meet, well, I've met a shit ton of Power Rangers, but I got to meet my hero, which is the original Red Ranger, Jason.
Okay.
When I met him, I literally just like gathered all of the strength that I had, put it in this little bubble, and just held on as deep as I could to just use words in front of him. Got a picture with him, got his autograph, and I kid you not, I took maybe 3 steps away from his booth and damn near fainted right then and there.
Oh
Like
my
I felt my knees lock up and I almost went down hard.
god.
I'm just like, nope, hold strong as
Kind of
the
love that
room
for you,
starts
honestly.
spinning.
Yeah. No, I kind of love that for you. I met Gina Torres, who a lot of yeah, so for those of you who don't know, she is Lawrence Fishburne's wife. She was in Cleopatra 2525. She was in Serenity, Firefly. Very obviously huge fan of hers. I
Oh
met
yeah.
her back when it was still Wizard World. She was like
Mm-hmm.
the first real like big celebrity that I met. Sorry, I live in the hood. Um, if you watch the show, you would know that. Um, I met her, and like again, the nervous almost vomit. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
it was my first Comic Con. I was there by myself for
Oh
most of the day.
no, that's
For
the
like about
worst.
half the day, I was there by myself before I met up with a friend who also happened to be there. And I turned the guy behind me could see that I was like your color. I was like washed out, pale. And he went, "Is this your first con?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "Is this your first celebrity?" And I went, "Yes." And he was like, "You're gonna be fine." And I went, "I'm gonna be sick." And he was like, "You're gonna be fine." And I met her and I burst into tears.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like super, like literally like eyeliner running down my face. I
Yeah.
can't believe I'm getting to meet you right now. You're such a trailblazer, and I think you're beautiful and cool. And she came from around the table because she was like, "Oh my god!" She was like, "Oh," she like gave me a hug. We took a selfie, and I was like, "Thank you."
Yep. Trust me, I've been there more than once. Now, my favorite story to tell when it comes to celebrities going above and beyond is always going to be JDF, because Jason David Frank was an absolute saint and went more than above and beyond any time
For
that
his
me and my brothers
fans,
met him.
I
Oh
will say
yeah.
for his fans for sure. I had kind of mixed feelings about him, just like learning about some of the allegations against his wife. But listen, their relationship was their relationship. But
Right.
he was somebody that like everybody really liked. He did every stop on Wizard World,
Oh yeah.
pretty much.
He
And like some of the other smaller cons. Yeah, he was
absolutely refused to close his line if there were people waiting to meet him.
oh yeah.
Like
He
I've
went through
literally
panels and
watched
everything.
like crew members drag him from his table because he's got to go do a photo shoot.
Yeah, no.
And then
Who
go
else was
ahead,
really fun
please.
to me? Sorry. I went to Wizard World pregnant with my son actually. So this is
Oh.
about 8 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet Evan Peters.
Oh, that's so cool.
It was so nice. I asked him to do a shout out to my sister, who was an even bigger fan of his at the time. And he did. He did a little video shout out. I recorded it on Snapchat. That's how long ago this was. I recorded it on Snapchat. Then I re-uploaded it on my Facebook to have forever. He was nice. And then that same day I got to meet Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, and I for their
I'm
dual
so
photo op
jealous.
for Civil War.
I'm so
So
jealous.
that listen,
Oh.
Anthony Mackie was Sebastian Stan didn't say anything. He was very nice, but
He
I
doesn't
don't
say
remember.
anything even in the movies, but
Right. No, he's just very like calm. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Sebastian. Like just very cool, very calm. Anthony Mackie is just he's how you see him on TV is how he is when you meet him. And I had on my Come to the Dork Side t-shirt, and he went, I love your t-shirt. Where did you get that from? And I was like, FYE, baby. And I like posed for the picture, and they both like leaned in, like, yeah.
oh, that's awesome.
But somebody made a meme about they like Anthony Mackie always looks like he knows like a piece of gossip that you don't know and he's waiting to tell you. And I pulled up that picture that I took of him from Wizard World, and I was like, duh. Like this isn't just like some weird thing that like weird phenomenon that people made up on the internet. This is a picture
It's what
I
it
took
looks like.
of him, like that I got taken of him. That is just his face. That's what he looked like.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, no, it's great, and I would love to meet again. Also, and like to really get to interview.
So we've talked about the past and we've talked about what's going on currently. What is two things, both as an event or as just a thing, and what is a person that you'd love to see HNIC do in the future? What is an event? What is a place you'd like to see you guys go? What is like an interview you'd like to guys have? And then who's a guest that you'd love to meet?
um, easily, I'd love to do SDCC.
Oh yes.
Like
Yes.
or even like D23.
Okay. Nice.
Like be there, be in I would like to be, I will say, because you can pay to go to these things, I would like to be an invited guest, an invited influencer,
Right.
correspondent, press,
Feel the same.
whatever. Yeah. So I would love to do that for certain. I know that would be monumentous for us, like as a brand and as individuals, as fans of comics and movies and television. It would be beyond as far as a guest I would like to have, I it's pretty hard to top David Tennant. I ain't gonna hold you.
Give you that. I give you that. That's hard to top, period.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. But I would say, oh my god, there's so many people. That's why I'm like, if I could, I would love to moderate like a Marvel panel or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Get in and just do like something else. It's like that's almost an impossible question to answer. And I'm all for not I find that we are our own biggest obstacles on the path to success. So I would love to just say, like, I would never want to name any one person or any one thing, like, just out of fear that I would be blocking our own blessings. So, like, anybody that we can get to that would love to be on the show, that would love to have us, like, I think that would be, it would just be great. I don't know, like, like John Boyega, only because he's fine. But I'm gonna,
listen,
you know who
listen, you're not wrong.
Actually, who I would love to have on the show, and we've said this before, Idris Elba.
Yes,
because
that's how you say his proper name, Curtis.
Yes, because this wasn't even, people thought that this was a bit, and it is now. But Curtis couldn't say Idris Elba's name for a long time, and like like I said, it's a bit, the Erdibus elbow is a bit now, but we got to interview we got to interview, her name is Elizabeth and I can't remember her last name, but she played Idris Elba's wife in the cowboy movie on Netflix.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I got to interview her. Not The Harder They Fall, the other one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not The Harder They Fall.
Damn.
No, it was the one.
I haven't seen him in the other one.
It was in the other one about the cowboys and everything. So I got to interview his wife, and she called him on the phone because like, when the interview was over, Curtis was like, "Yeah, you know," I said, you know, it's actually really funny because Curtis messed his name up for like a solid 6 months. She thought it was the funniest thing in the world. She called him and told him.
Oh,
I would love to have Idris Elba on
the show and have Curtis say the
wrong
thing.
Because Erdibus Elbow is like the longest running joke on the show, like that we got. That's amazing. That and Mahershala Ali, because my guy was he was like Marsala shallot wine for like for a month. And not even like to be on no like embarrassing type shit, just to be like, this is how excited we are to meet y'all. People know that we are clowns, and like we want you to know that like we have the utmost respect for you. Love you. like not even to be like disrespectful or like clown them in any way, just to be like,
we love you so much that we even have a bit of how much we love you.
Exactly. We've incorporated a bit about you into our regular like weekly programming.
I have the story for that when we get offline because it's too funny.
Yeah.
But as we see, now I'm lightheaded from laughing. As we start winding down, is there anything that you'd like to share, put out to the internet, anything you just like to say to the nice people that got a chance to watch and listen?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe, or one of those fucking things, to the Kirbside podcast. Jay puts in a lot of fucking work to try and make this what it is, and you deserve to be celebrated and acknowledged for that. We would like to speak life into you because it's not always easy, like networking and reaching across the aisle to other people, because so many unfortunately so many of our colleagues can have egos about them, and we try to personify our mission statement. Head Nerds in Charge is all about the promotion and proliferation of underserved POC content creators. And even though you don't
And
necessarily
Jay.
listen, and
As Curtis loves to say.
listen, no, but like we can't do this, like, as persons of color, as people of the global majority. We can't do this without our white counterparts, and having allies like you by our side, linked arm in arm doing good work with us, is so important, and you should be acknowledged for that. And that's not to take away from any of our POC people that we have on every single day, that we look up to, that we uplift. We just want to take this time to acknowledge you and have you on as well, because ain't none of them other niggas had me on either. I'm kidding. Shout out to the trap nerds and the former Blurs and Whiskey, like, folks that did like have us on and that show up to our events and have fun. You gotta move closer, motherfucker, so you can come to our pool party and shit.
I might plan to go to the next one. Life has been very complicated over the past 9 months, as you have been well informed more than once. But hopefully next year the schedule calms the fuck down and I can go to more things.
Listen, the schedule for you finna calm down, because for me,
no, for yours is probably gonna ramp up a little, but my schedule will calm down enough so I can actually go do things that aren't just in Dallas, which isn't bad, because I still have gotten to go some really cool cons and meet some really cool people down here. But like,
I mean,
I'd love to travel more.
That, I would love to pop through to Dallas, because Texas in
we'd
January.
Love to have you.
I went to Houston for my birthday like 2 years ago, and it was so nice. The weather was so nice. Everybody was so cold. I was the only person walking around with no jacket on.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so I'd love to go to Dallas when it's not July and 1,000,000 degrees outside. Like, what the fuck? We went to DreamCon one year, and the heat was overbearing. it was the worst. But yeah, no, I'd love to do something like that. Oh, if you could follow the Cospoll Players on Instagram, that is my virtual poll show. If there's anything I would love to do to bring out for the summer, please bring my co-founder and I, Jiggly Senpai, we're gonna bring back the Cosplay Players, bring back our cosplay and poll showcase. We would love to take it out of the virtual space and do it in live spaces. We were supposed to have it at HNIC Con, and I want to make sure that some of the amazingly beautiful, strong, talented artists, athletes, because that's what these ladies and some of these gentlemen are. They're not just pole dancers to be ogled at. They are athletes and artists. I want to see them like up on big stages, and to be able to bring them there would be phenomenal. It would be its own reward.
Wow. Teffy, thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry it took this long.
Part of that is my fault, to be fair.
Yes. We both have discussed multiple times about how we're awful with scheduling, but I greatly appreciate you coming on, sitting down, talking with me. Putting up with me, period. Like I am still in shock to this day that you guys even brought me on the show.
You are the least amount of trouble. Like, okay, for all the inboxing that you did, you are still somehow the least amount of trouble, the least amount of drama of anybody I've had to like work with like closely in a hot minute. Several of them. So like please, like I said, please.
But I appreciate you guys having me on HNIC. You guys attempting to bring Kirbside to HNIC Con, and then getting us in the door for another year at J1.
Like if you come up, we'll do a thing. We can do all these like extra things. Like I said, we'll we're all about putting our friends on. So
Absolutely.
it ain't nothing to it. Y'all just got to be in the area.
Right. And if you guys ever come down south, you know where to, you know who to call. But
Absolutely.
thank you for joining me. Thank you for having me on your show, and thank you for being on mine. As always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, tap the bell on your YouTube app so you don't miss the uploads. And we'll see you guys very soon.